So, you're the one the Emperor chose as his wrath. Well past time we've had a proper talk, I should think.
What's this all about?
You represent the last, most vital piece in my plan to shake the Republic to its very core. I'd say more, but it's better we speak in person. I promise you, together we will change the face of the galaxy. Starting with the planet Tython.
If I could carry a tune, I would sing of this day. What we are about to accomplish, the galaxy will forever behold with great wonderment. But perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. After all, we've never properly met.
Darth Arkus.
Yes, a pleasure. In my capacity as Minister of Military Offense, I have repeatedly enjoyed the fruits of your labor. And this is my most trusted advisor, Lana Beniko.
So much strength I sense in you. After all the trials you've endured, to stand here now is quite an achievement.
Do not presume to know me, unless you'd like a sample of my power.
I meant no offense. Perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. You've been invited here to perform an act once thought impossible. An attack on the Jedi Temple of Tython.
Promising leads have been rare ever since Imperial intelligence was effectively dismantled. However, a source I personally trust has alerted me to a hole in Tython's planetary defenses. If we act fast and strike hard, it will absolutely ruin Republic morale. Annihilate it.
And once we've taken the temple, what then?
While you concern yourself with the assault, Lord Go will be tasked with keeping the temple secured. So long as we have control, we'll explore the artifacts and histories stored inside. Imagine all we can learn about the Jedi and the Force.
Does Lord Go have anything to say about any of this, or is he mute?
Lord Go prefers to speak through actions rather than words. In that regard, he's a flawless communicator. Your shuttle awaits. By the time you reach Tython, our first wave will have established a foothold on the surface. I'll remain in constant contact throughout the offensive.
Succeed in this, and together we will have signaled the beginning of the Republic's most humiliating end. Glory for the Empire!
Our initial strike team had hoped to secure the landing area by now. But enemy reinforcements have been hammering us with heavy artillery fire. There's an array of sensors out there guiding the attacks. Destroy them, and we'll finally start to make some headway. We can't make it to the temple until you do away with the shielding that's keeping our forces confined to the area. Look for the Republic command platform. That's where you'll find the shield controls. We're in, but we're not there yet. The Jedi Temple Library is heavily secured. You'll have to find a way to breach the entrance. A word of warning. Jedi do adore their libraries. I wouldn't expect to find the room unoccupied were I you.
As if it wasn't enough to sense your presence, you seem to have a need to do everything as loudly as possible. This is the Jedi Temple. You are not welcome. Leave this sacred place, now. You'll not get a second warning.
That's the problem with you, Jedi. I don't even give a first warning.
If you won't go willingly, you leave me no choice. You can use a few lessons. Prepare to face judgment. You'll be punished for your crimes. This is a sacred place. There is no death.
Can you believe Tech Ops already remapped the secure comms? Talented slicers we have in our employ, though even they pale in comparison next to you.
Pardon the intrusion. I thought you'd want to know the Jedi Temple is now fully under our control. We have a number of Jedi Padawans in our custody. Must be recent additions. They didn't know the first thing about fighting. What would you have me do with them?
We should send a clear message. Litter the temple courtyard with their bodies.
Straight away, my lord.
You haven't found it yet, Lord Go, because the blasted Jedi don't want it found. Keep searching.
The temple and its mysteries are all ours now. Darth Arcus is indescribably pleased.
When you sent me, you had to know the operation would be a success.
I did have a feeling. On behalf of Darth Arcus, I thank you. This is a banner day for the Empire. Be proud.
The Jedi Temple is now in Imperial hands.
Indeed it is. All thanks to your efforts, of course.
At this very moment, Lord Go's team is exploring a hidden chamber rumored to hold the Jedi's most treasured secrets.
Better still, the Republic will be reeling right now, stupefied over the humiliation you've wrought.
My lord.
Sergeant Tarston, do you not see that I have company? Important company?
Of course, my lord. But I've a report from Korriban. It seems the Republic, my lord. They...
Try taking a breath, Sergeant.
Yes, you're right. My apologies. Republic forces have made landfall on Korriban and sacked the Sith Academy.
What? A retaliation so soon? What's the present status?
It's done. They've taken the Academy, secured it, and reports indicate that Darth Soverus gave his life in its defense.
I see. Leave us. Darth Soverus made a fine addition to the Dark Council. We should all strive to be as loyal to the end.
Wouldn't the Republic have been better off trying to reclaim the Jedi Temple?
It's a perplexing matter, but we can't concern ourselves with it now. At this very moment, Jedi walk the halls of our Sith Academy, our Dark Council chambers. Simply outrageous!
I'm going to coordinate with our forces on Korriban. Ensure you have a safe place to land as near the Academy as possible. As with Tython, I will remain in close contact with you throughout the operation.
A final note. Whoever is heading Republic operations on Korriban must be made an example of. Do not take their command lead prisoner!
May the Force favor you this day.
Yes. The Force be with you. And with the great Sith Empire.
Not the greatest position, I know, but the lower wilds is as close to the Sith Academy as our team could manage. The Republic's pulled out all the stops with this invasion. But we fully expect your retaliation to surpass their efforts. Fight your way up to the Valley of the Dark Lords and reclaim the Sith Academy. Spare no one. I've received word from Sergeant Tarston on the ground. It appears your arrival hasn't gone unnoticed. A Republic barricade has just been fashioned to bar your progress. While hastily constructed, it is formidable. But we have every faith in you.
What is it this time, Sergeant?
These Sith apprentices were holed up in a medical supply storeroom. They're injured, some of them seriously, but they're able to walk at least. Your orders?
They're in no shape to fight. Find them someplace where they can recover.
Yes, of course. I'll see to it personally. Move out, cowards. Now!
I don't envy you right now. I don't know what I'd do if I saw the Academy in the enemy's hands. Encrypted transmissions have been traced back to the Dark Council chambers. That must be where the Republic Command is operating from. We hope you don't find any Dark Council members up there. Captured or dead, either would constitute a gross humiliation.
They've breached the front entrance. It's only a matter of time. Be ready.
Jedi, you befoul the Dark Council with your presence.
This place was already foul. But don't worry, sis. I have no intention of staying.
It's been conveyed to me that you shouldn't be allowed to leave. Not alive, at any rate.
So it's happening. I didn't think I'd have served my purpose so soon.
What are you going on about? What purpose?
We believe in a cause worth protecting. Worth dying for. Let's find out if you can say the same. The Force, give us strength! Press the attack! Thought this would be a memorable fight! Enough sparring! Hardly impressive! Did you really think you could take me? I fight for something greater than myself! The Empire won't even know what hit it! I'm not only a Jedi, I'm a soldier! You can't stop it! It's happening. It's all happening. And you can't stop it.
And you can't stop this.
And with that, the Sith Academy is secure. I suppose saying good work would constitute a gross understatement.
This Jedi commander, he said some odd things.
I'm sure Darth Arcus would like to hear about it. He's eager to offer up his congratulations in person. You've really come through for the Empire. There is so much for us to thank you for, and much yet to discuss. I hope we see you soon.
The Republic's been flushed from the Sith Academy, and their commander Jensen is dead.
You have served the Empire with strength and passion. I applaud you.
What do you say we take some time to mark the occasion?
A tempting offer. The Offense Minister's work is never done, I'm afraid. Listen, I want to be sure you understand that what you've accomplished, both on Korriban and on Tython, will be long remembered. Everyone will look back on these days as the nascent events that framed a new foundation for the galaxy. They will see those who participated as its architects.
Do you think you could stop making speeches at me?
It's become a habit, I'm afraid. It comes from years of speaking to the easily led and the utterly stupid. You, of course, are neither. Lana and I are indebted to you for your exemplary actions in the Empire's name. We thank you.
Yes, thank you. I do hope we have the chance to speak again. Preferably soon.
Glory for the Empire.
This is Lana Beniko. I need you to meet with me somewhere private. You may be the Empire's only hope.
You came. Good. I'm aware I've been somewhat quiet following your success on Tython. Don't mistake my reticence for apathy. Truth is, I have a great deal to say. Now that we're alone, we can have a real dialogue.
Why don't you start by telling me a little bit more about yourself?
Oh. What is it you want to know?
How did you end up as advisor to Darth Arcus?
I wanted to better understand war, so I asked to be posted with him. Over time, he came to trust my opinion, so here I am.
You're unusual for a Sith. You don't even have a title.
Knowledge, answers, truth, the Force. These are the things I hold dear. Titles don't interest me. Can we... Sorry, I don't mean to appear antisocial, but I do have pressing concerns. Darth Arcus wasn't entirely forthcoming about his reasons for invading the Jedi Temple. Not even with me. He was after a very specific item. An artifact.
I overheard Arcus talking to Go. It did seem like they had some ulterior motive.
If I knew more, I could determine what that motive is. But there's very good reason to be concerned about it.
Meaning?
I now believe that the Republic's attack on Korriban wasn't a retaliation for Tython. It was intended to coincide with our own attack.
Attacking Korriban while the Empire still held the Jedi Temple didn't make much sense to me at the time. It still doesn't.
Nor should it, not from our current vantage point. But a wider context may exist that could explain recent events. There's something in the Force that I've never felt before. It exists nowhere and everywhere at once, writhing, growing.
I should sense that as well. Are you sure?
I think I sense this growth because I'm tied to it somehow. Maybe by association to Darth Arcus. I think the Empire's in terrible danger. I'm far from weak, but I'm only one Sith. Whatever's coming, I can't stop it alone, Roth.
Anyone conspiring against the Empire will answer to me and suffer for their foolishness.
I knew I could count on you. I felt it. I'll see if I can't make sense of what happened on Tython and Korriban, and what all of this means. Whatever I find, I'll let you know as soon as I can. Stay vigilant, and may the Force ever serve you. Welcome. So good to see you again. As implied in our last brief communication, Darth Arcus is at the center of a grand conspiracy. Arcus had the Jedi Temple raided to acquire knowledge of Rakata technology that he could use to harm the Empire. Even now, he plots against us.
What can you tell me about this technology?
Nothing, I'm afraid. He smartly kept the details hidden from me, but we're very close to the truth now. I've followed Arcus to a secure undersea laboratory here on Manaan, where he's working with a Selkath geneticist on something. I've been trying to learn more. I've also discovered that Colonel Darroch secured passage to the same laboratory. He was behind the Republic's raid on Korriban.
Dark Council members make for attractive targets. This Darroch might be ending the Arcus problem for us.
As you say, he's our problem. Meaning we need to resolve it ourselves. We must confront Arcus in that laboratory. As I said, it's a well-protected facility. You'll have to make your way through heavily armed Selkath and dismantle their security grid.
You're not coming?
I'd intended to confront Darth Arcus myself, but I sense a presence here. A potential ally. I'll remain in touch and let you know how my search progresses. May the Force be at your service. We cannot let Darth Arcus pursue his betrayal of the Empire.
This is Lana. Darth Arcus isn't far. I can sense him. We have to learn what he and the Selkath are doing down there and confront him. To have your run of the place, you'll need to shut down the security grid. You have the coordinates now. I'll stay in touch. I've met our potential ally, who's already proved quite resourceful. He's learned of a prisoner in the security hub who's been scheduled for disposal by experimentation. This Jakaro sounds like someone you might want to talk with, as soon as you contend with the head of security.
We're rescued! Jakaro! My most sincere apologies for his outburst. Please don't leave us here to rot! I implore you!
I've met our potential ally, who's already proved quite resourceful. He's learned of a prisoner in the security hub who's been scheduled for disposal by experimentation. This Jakaro sounds like someone you might want to talk with, as soon as you contend with the head of security.
We're rescued!
I didn't come here to listen to you bicker. Now say something useful, or lose the ability to speak.
I am C2D4, former translator to Her Eminence Queen Lena of Onderon, and this is my current master, the renowned illicit transport specialist, Jakaro.
A smuggler, in other words?
Jakaro was hired, quite innocuously, by a Selkath geneticist named Garima. We delivered a large shipment of perfectly legal medical supplies here to this facility. Imagine our consternation when Garima then had us imprisoned and interrogated most harshly by two awful creatures.
I saved you, meaning you owe me a life debt, Wookiee. From here on out, you do as I say.
Don't you think it'd be best if we compromise just a bit in this instance? After all, we are, in a manner of speaking, indebted.
Those who conspire against the Empire conspire against me.
We shall endeavor to hurry and regroup with you at our earliest opportunity.
Nice to see you've made a new friend. Or friends, as it were. But a warning. You're about to encounter members of the Order of Shasa. Force-sensitive Selkath who are neither Jedi nor Sith. Their complicity here does not bode well for us. Our ally just made note of strange power signatures in your vicinity. He believes they may be emanating from Rakata technology. It warrants a closer look. Tap into a nearby console so we can investigate.
You don't know me, but I'm here with Lana. She's meditating using your connection to Darth Arcus to pinpoint his location. She wanted you to know if I found anything, and I did. Energy readings from Garima's lab. Rakata technology's firing up like crazy in there. Don't know for sure what's going on, but I can pretty much guarantee it's got to be stopped.
You must be Garima. Time to talk.
Is hoge sohanem kert visa.
The hard way.
Nemvod king avila gito torko. Latate hata mogot a.
Care to tell me where your underwriters are?
Minegin ritet neste ahoje hatal al ala sonak oraban. Hosu idon keras tulals elvan lasto as volt ahatasa. Amun kaja kostunk. Vota hoje mar imnit. Ete valahol. Eves tob ere ni as igrit. Len parnata feder zeten.
He mustn't get another chance to betray us! Shoot him already!
Let your hate be your guide, Jakaro.
How very unexpected.
This is the potential complication you sensed?
No, this is not my advisor, but rather an associate. It would appear Beniko laid out a convincing case that I'm up to no good.
This is no way to greet an associate, Arcus. You should be nice and close, so I can hold out my hand and strangle you with it.
Such a passion for violence. I suppose that's what made you so useful on Tython and Korriban.
Thanks for giving us everything we need. Now we can get started in earnest.
Not everything. Garima's dead.
Oh, we don't need Garima himself, not anymore. We only ever needed the results of his research.
comes crashing down upon itself, enjoy a preview of our infinite army.
Me again. Derek and Argus ejected all the emergency pods. No going back the way you came. Good news is I slaved one of the pods. Got it on remote pilot headed for a docking hatch nearby. You should have the coordinates by now. Get moving. Getting readies from their Alpha cyborg. That thing's serious and it's coming right for you. Stay sharp.
Take that thing out, quick!
Lana said you were tough. Come on, let's see it. Keep at it. You're doing it. You're doing it. Watch it. This thing just keeps going. You're gonna have to breathe water if you don't get going here. Great work. Let's get you out of there.
Hang on. Emergency pod's almost secure, but not quite.
You're with the Republic, aren't you?
That's right. I'm also saving your lives. You got a problem with that?
Just get us out of here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Hurry! I wasn't built to survive the crushing depths!
Okay, all set. Climb in and enjoy the ride.
Welcome back. Once again, you've displayed a skill and determination that few possess.
I've seen worse.
Perhaps I should make proper introductions.
No need to tell me who I'm addressing. I'm Theron Shan, Republic SAS, and your new ally.
You could always join the Empire. I think you'd make a welcome asset.
I'm oddly flattered. Not even going to consider it, of course, but flattered.
The way we were fooled by Darth Arcus, the same happened to Theron, except with the Colonel.
And between what you found down in that lab and what Lana and I pieced together, I can tell you they're both traitors.
Arcus and Derek are in league with a dangerous movement, a shadowy cult known as the Order of Revan.
Every indication is that Revan died. Surely he's not in control of the order that bears his name.
It's not Revan himself, but those who follow his doctrine we're concerned with. They seem to have grown rather bold. The Order of Revan used to operate in the shadows of Imperial space, but now their ranks include at least one major Republic figure.
That means I can't trust my people and Lana can't trust hers. Present company excluded. And if the Revanites are building an army of cyborgs...
This is Jakaro.
And I am C2D4, former translator to Her Eminence Queen Lena of Onderon.
Hey, Jakaro, how would you feel about helping me track those two down? We'll talk about it. Lana, will you be joining us?
We don't yet know how deep the Revanites' influence runs. I must learn what I can from within the Empire.
We're gonna get to the bottom of all of this.
You've done well here, as expected. We'll speak again soon. Our work here is done.
I was about to send out a search party.
Sorry, I had to confirm some things before coming to see you. As I suspected, the Order of Revan as it once existed is no more. A bit of a shame, really. The Revanites' pragmatism may have been anathema to the Sith, but there was something appealing about it.
Are you trying to tell me you see yourself as half Jedi?
I may not take a title, but I am Sith. I'm simply open to possibilities. The Revanites aren't one of them, though. Not anymore. The Order of Revan, as it stands now, doesn't wish to change the Empire from within. It aims to destroy us completely, and the Republic along with us. I've not yet learned why or how, but Theron Shan might. He appears to be rather good at his job.
Good at his job or not, he's not bad to look at.
If you say so. I've been too preoccupied by our state of affairs to notice. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
The Wookiee smuggler and his droid. How do they fit in?
It's not entirely clear to me, but Jakara will prove useful to us. That much I sense unmistakably. I should get to my investigation. Whatever Arcus's Revenites and their infinite army has in store for the galaxy, it can't be good. May the Force ever serve you. Glad to see you again, as always, but I'm afraid any further niceties will have to wait. I know I've mentioned before a strange disturbance within the Force, a sort of writhing mass tied to Darth Arcus. I thought I'd use my connection to Arcus to seek out others tied to the disturbance, Revenites working against us from within. I found a few.
If we could convince them they were wrong to betray the Empire, they'd be compelled to help us.
It's too late for that. From what I've been able to gather, it's clear their devotion to the Order of Revan is unshakable. Theron Shan helped me decipher coded messages between the Revenites. Due to interference on Manaan, they've accelerated their schedule.
Enough tiptoeing. We know for a fact that Arcus is a traitor. We can expose him.
We can't just go making accusations. Darth Arcus is a trusted and powerful member of the Dark Council.
And I am the Emperor's wrath.
You know the Council would never stand for you questioning the loyalty of one of their own. There's another way to stop Arcus. Theron's traced his activities to Rakata Prime. He and Colonel Darrok are building their infinite army. And there's more. The implants they're using, they're made from pieces of the Starforge.
The Starforge? Tell me what you know about it.
The Starforge was a Force-imbued, self-sustaining shipyard, Rakatan. It was destroyed centuries ago, but the Revenites have recovered some of the wreckage. Its technology makes the soldiers nearly immortal, seizes their minds as well, placing them under the Revenites' full control.
We need to learn how they accomplished this. It could prove useful to us.
Indeed, it could. Theron and Jakara are waiting for us planetside. The sooner we depart for Rakata Prime, the better.
Jakaro, D4.
Jakaro! Display at least a modicum of respect.
Hey, we're set to move on the Temple of the Ancients when you are.
That's the traitor's base of operations?
Yeah, the Rakata designed the Starforge in that temple thousands of years ago. Now it's Arcus and Derek's grunt factory.
Theron and I will be monitoring your progress from Jakaro's ship. We'll assist you as we can, keep you apprised of matters.
You what? Jakaro, I agree to no such thing. Wait, was this the talk with Agent Shan you powered me down for?
I should warn you, it's a rough road to the temple. The area's lousy with tribal Rakatans more than happy to fight. Found that out the hard way.
Wonderful! We're all going to die! Wonderful!
Remain focused and all will be well. I'm sure of it. We'll be in touch soon.
If you see Colonel Derek, tell him hi for me. With your fist.
I feel the dark side everywhere. Remnants of the Starforge.
Okay, that route is not working out like we planned. We'll have to head along the beach and straight through Rakata Central. Sorry.
We'd hope to avoid much of the tribal area, but the terrain doesn't appear to be cooperating with us. You'll have to pass through the Rakatan settlement to get to the temple. It's further along the beach. Looks as though their arena needs a challenger. If you're going to get past them, you'll have to give them a show they'll never forget.
No way around that Rancor. I do not envy you.
If I die, I'm going to haunt you.
Sensors are showing a lot of movement in the temple. The Revenites are mustering their defenses. Derek and Arcus are in there somewhere. Just keep moving.
Darth Arcus knows you're here. I'd say he sensed your presence, but I imagine it's all the commotion. He and Colonel Darrok have shored up defenses outside the temple with their new conscripts. You know what to do.
Overheard some Revenites near your position. Came across a cache of Rakata tech weapons. Might want to do something about that.
Theron's been monitoring Revenite chatter. Somewhere near you, they've discovered a hidden store of Rakata weapons. See that they don't get the chance to use them.
Look out, they put together a welcoming party for you. More of those cyborgs.
Infinite Army conscripts. They're further along with production than we suspected.
Their control console and open a channel there. I'll be able to slice into their systems remotely.
Once you reach the main conscription site, open a line on the control console. Theron can slice it remotely that way.
That's it, we're in. Theron?
Okay, according to the structural plans, the only way to get at the head Revenites is through that conscription center.
The cyborgs are dormant for now, but they're set to go on high alert once they detect you. The console overload will fry them from the inside. Nope, can't work the power safeties from here. You'll have to do the honors.
A sound plan. Theron, why can't I get this sensor to work?
Because Jakaro isn't a big fan of upkeep? Probably a dead relay, I'll check it out.
Now that he's gone, might I recommend not doing as Theron suggests? An overload would destroy the data as well. The Empire might want its own infinite army someday. You would have to fight those cyborgs, but...
There goes any concern of you getting too cozy with the Republic spy.
Make no mistake, I serve the Empire.
As do I. We'll do this your way.
Hey, what happened? Why is the console still running?
We couldn't make it work. The room will have to be traversed the hard way.
Are you sure? What did you try?
Everything.
If you say so. Hey, those sensor relays were fine, by the way. Not sure what the problem is.
Was. The sensor appears to be working again.
Arcus and Derek must know it's over for them. They've fled to the rooftop where they have a shuttle waiting.
We'll shoot them down if we have to, but we really need the chance to interrogate them.
Get to the roof. Hurry.
Wait! Jakaro still wishes to confront the men who betrayed him and left us for dead. As would I, actually.
Come on then. What's the matter, Arcus? Shuttle not ready yet?
We Revenites went through a great deal of trouble to reach this point in our campaign. For you to hamper our progress, it's regrettable. You, Lana, you were never anything more than pawns to us. Important pawns, but pawns all the same.
If you speak another word, it had better involve what you and your Revenites are planning.
So, this is where I outline our grand design, and then you decide whether or not to spare my life? This grotesque alien beast does have it partly figured out. Indeed, I won't cooperate, but I'm not fleeing. We will stand our ground and put an end to your perpetual interruption. Colonel?
If you could see what we were doing, what we want for the galaxy. But you can't see. You'll just have to die.
We're finishing this, here and now. They're yours, Derek. You have them, Arcus.
Sweet vengeance.
You gotta do better than that. We are beyond any of you. No. The plan! You've changed nothing. We've come too far to submit now. You think you'll walk away from this?
Impossible! It can't be!
Arcus and Darok were never going to be taken alive. They were never going to talk.
I felt Darth Arcus's passing. This is an unfortunate turn.
Yes, you did. What a relief.
Blasted, those two were running a show. They were our best hope of exposing the Revenites.
No, they weren't in charge. The disturbance in the Force, I still feel it. It's arrived.
We got company. Ships, capital-sized, whole bunch of them. Can't tell if they're yours or ours, but one of them's dropping in to visit.
As important as Arcus and Derek were to the cause, their deaths won't stop us. They won't even slow us down.
That voice. I've heard it before.
It's Revan.
I almost had the infinite army I wanted so badly. But even without them, I have enough.
Stop hiding behind the hull of that ship, and we'll see.
Goading me into battle might have worked before I died, but not anymore. I've been reborn. My mind is clearer, my power intensified, and now, with the order under my command, I'm unstoppable.
You're telling me the Revenites weren't always under your control?
At first, I wanted nothing to do with them. I was no prophet. Then I saw them in a new light. A secret group of devotees waiting to follow my lead without question, to help me save the galaxy. I was a fool to ever disregard them. I finally let the Revenites into my world. A world you have to be erased from.
Turbo lasers are locking on! Get out of there!
We can't reach your Jakaro ship. Take the shuttle.
You made it.
The way Revan was laying waste to that place, I wasn't sure you'd come out of it in one piece.
What are you talking about? I'm hardly in one piece.
Anyway, my point is, I'm glad you got out of there. Any ally right now is a welcome ally.
If I didn't know any better, Theron, I'd think you were somewhat infatuated with me.
What, me? Into you? That's so... don't be ridiculous.
If I may say, Jinshan, you appear to be rather flush all of a sudden.
We're gonna... Jakaro and I and the droid, we're leaving now so you can have your official Imperial debrief or... whatever. Lana, when you're done, we can start picking out backwaters to go lie low in.
Some good news. I was able to extract a good amount of data from the Infinite Army conscription console. Unfortunately, we can't possibly hand it over to our Imperial colleagues. The Revenites have just proven they're everywhere. Jakaro's had 12 death sentences declared on him. Theron's been disavowed by the SIS. And the Empire's placed a bounty on my head for the murder of Darth Arcus.
We need to put a stop to the Order, and we need to do it now.
You'll get no argument from me. In fact, Theron and I have been discussing the best way to go about it. The way forward is clear. Theron, Jakaro, and I are going underground. We'll find a way to uncover Revan's plan and stop him.
Since we can't take the direct approach anymore, the three of you working in secret is our best option.
If I may suggest, you should continue normally with your life. Right now, you are the closest thing the Empire has to a soul, Roth. Without you, they'll forget themselves, fall apart. Be who you are. But be observant, and tell no one the truth about us or what you know. Above all, Do not try to contact me.
Make this plan work, Lana.
I'll do everything in my power. All our fates ultimately rest in your hands. Remember that.
Whoa. You look like Jaisa did that time she tried Exobor soup.
I had a vision. There was a galaxy neighboring our own, and then nothing. Every star went dim, both in that galaxy and our own. The end of everything.
See, probably just something you ate. Maybe. I hope.
Another galaxy? Would you say it was a dwarf galaxy? Forgive me, my lord. I couldn't help but overhear.
A dwarf galaxy sounds right. What do you know?
There is such a galaxy off the Outer Rim, known as the Rishi Maze.
Rishi? I've heard of Rishi. It's a planet. Some kind of pirate resort? Sounds like a real dive. I've kinda always wanted to go.
You've started receiving these recently? Quinn, set a course. We're going to Rishi.
This may be the saddest, most run-down port I've ever seen. I've said that before, but you keep surprising me.
Wow! The rumors were true! You're here! You're really here!
You know me?
Oh, sure. I've heard you described in great detail. Great detail. You run the Howling Tempest Gang, the most daring, ruthless pirates of the Gordian Reach. Wherever that is.
You're a strange one. Can't say I've ever met an alien quite like you before.
I'm Rishi. You wouldn't have met anyone like us on any other planet. That's what everyone in town says anyway. Seems like everyone in Raiders Cove is going on about you and all your insane adventures. Talk about your tough customers.
You're basic. It's very natural.
My people pick up languages and stuff real easy. Some of us like to be formal. I'm more of a cantina talk type. Speaking of cantinas, you'll want to watch for Goro. He wants to fight you so bad, it's not even funny.
Tell me where to find him. I'll see he gets what he's asking for.
Goro's at the Blaster's Path. Local watering hole. Probably washing down some Tonatron jerky with some Antelian fungo lager. I'm not allowed there anymore. Long story. So I hope someone hollows your big fight. Wouldn't want to miss a single bloody shot.
I hear you're looking for me, or someone who fits my description at least.
Kafsta undile, jigo hola lokuta.
Think you just did that yourself, Goro. Hang on. You're not about to wreck my place again, are you? I'm still filling in blaster holes.
Inigu daiji liska wa. Kusa malachikuta, ikosa mose ala tuta.
No, this won't be a challenge at all. Not for me.
Chonki faguta, jiopora, geotoka kise. Makipuna mali tuta, od mishka.
You were amusing for a moment at best. Now die.
You know, a few blaster marks is one thing. Gives the place some charm. But this...
If you heard Goro before he died, you know I run the Howling Tempest Gang, and you know better than to cross me. Someone is about to tell me how everyone on Rishi seems to know I was on my way here. Who will it be?
Everyone's talking about you. Couldn't tell you how it all got started, but I can tell you who gave Goro the idea to come after you.
Don't do it, Karina. You know what Margok would say about ratting out a resident.
If Margok ever pays the tab all you Nova Blades have run up, then maybe I'll start to care what he thinks. Guy you want is Kai Zykan, leader of the Corellian-run scoundrels. A real gem. Goro said Zykan owes you a pile of credits. He hired Goro to take you out for a fraction of what it would cost to pay you.
Where do I find him?
Beats me. It's not like I hang out with the guy. Ask Zykan's crew. They're all over Raiders Cove. Like stinkflies.
I'm going to assume you're telling the truth. If I have to come back here, it won't be pleasant for you.
As opposed to all the pleasantness of this visit, right? Hey, I told you what I know. Best I can do. See ya, Goro. Hope your brother doesn't decide this was my fault.
I'm looking for someone.
Yeah, fine. Like I care.
Well, look at this, scoundrels! A visit from...
Dziwiska, tyciuska, czuska.
I was making a dramatic pause, Tomoda. I know it's the Hurling Tempest. Kai Zykan. I'm sure you've heard my name, most commonly accompanied by a longing sigh from one of my former conquests. Now here's the deal. The Corellian-run scoundrels may owe you a debt, but it's not coming out of my hide. Take it up with accounting.
You will give me every last credit your people owe the Howling Tempest Gang. Every last one. Understood?
Well, I do speak basic, so yeah, understood. And, you know, this, it doesn't have to get dialed up right away to violent. Okay, alright, listen. We can't pay. The freedom to operate in Raiders Cove isn't exactly free. After the Nova Blades take their cut, we're tapped. Not before you get an itch. I do have something of value. Something I know you want.
You tried to have me killed. I don't see why I shouldn't return the sentiment.
I get it. You're not happy with me. But you might be after this. I record all my holocalls, and that includes the one that warned me you were coming to Rishi. I'll show it to you. Tomoda, get my data pad.
Gusto chunky. Fakota otto endiha.
Oh, that's bad, Tomoda. That's bad.
Kokuto chuska no iku chusa. Yumata chipontata.
Oh, right! Yes, thank you, Tomoda! I knew there was a reason I kept you around. Here, you can find and unlock the case with this tracer, and you could even keep the datapad. How's that?
How about you go find the datapad you lost and bring it to me?
Hey, good idea. Why don't I go ahead and, do that? Oh, like you wouldn't do the same.
Never mind, I'll find it myself.
I hope you tell your Howling Teapot gang we're even now. Right, that's what I said.
What in the...
Hands off the monkey lizard!
Hey, he's with me.
Had enough of your sniffing around Corsair territory. You're going down!
Kai Zyken, greetings. I speak to you now to deliver a warning. The Howling Tempest Gang is one of the galaxy's most feared pirate associations. They have just now set their sights on Rishi. As you know, the Corellian Run scoundrels owe the Howling Tempest Gang a great many credits. There is no telling what will happen when you are discovered. I suggest you herald the gang's arrival to draw unwanted attention on them. I'm dispatching several droids across Raiders Cove to do the same. Or you could do nothing and suffer the consequences. The choice is yours.
Greetings to you! Would you like to hear a true story about the legendary Howling Tempest Gang? Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't realize it was you! How exciting. Such a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You should consider yourself honored and fortunate to have this opportunity.
Indeed I do. My master did not prepare me for the sheer measure of awe I would be required to process. Why, in the time since your arrival, you have already defeated the illustrious Goro, brought fear to the Corellian Run scoundrels and Carida Corsairs. Even the Nova Blades have taken notice of you. My master would be most impressed.
You're going to take me to your master, whether you'd like to or not.
It just so happens that my master would like very much to see you, and has authorized me to direct you to a point of contact. Oh, do be careful in your travels. Legend or no, Goro's brother Grum is severely displeased as to Goro's fate.
Abdustela biorore. Tuk now, prim slim monita, rikoka shurore.
If you and that Rhodian are related, I'd hate to see what you came from.
Harun Shindai, kelmi to sin norangatuk. Ailing, onore donatsa, tingno bumfrai, ramirukshak. Tuk now, prim slim monita, rikoka shurore. Javisa! Gola, Timan Stebodrar. Consona no murdakin pavuri freya. Wine likro, klorubarg.
finished. Lana Beniko.
The Emperor's Wrath. Good to see you again. Any word from your namesake?
Nothing has changed, if that's what you're asking.
Pretty cagey. Think you'd be more open with Lana after all she sacrificed for your empire.
Hello, Theron.
Is that a good hello or a bad one? Outside of Lana, I can never tell with you Imperial types.
Are you really asking me that after the last time I saw you?
Okay, point taken.
Now that we're all reunited, perhaps we should get things underway.
Right, yeah. Let's get to it. The Revenites are here, on Rishi. That's why we led you here under false pretenses. They can't know we're onto them. We need you to go out there and make life hard for the Revenites' allies, the Nova Blades.
I know the Nova Blades are running things in Raiders Cove, but how are they helping the Revenites?
From what we've been able to gather, the Revenites' agents in the Empire and Republic have been feeding the Nova Blades intel on ship activity. The Blades then use that intel to ambush military patrols and key shipping lanes on both sides. They're essentially remapping hyperroutes.
What good does that do them?
That's what we'd like to find out.
Hate to admit it, but I haven't been able to remotely slice the Blades' computers. I have to have their security shut down.
The trouble is, we can't have any suspicion raised that our attack is related to the Revenites' activities.
If I assault the Nova Blades as a member of this Howling Tempest gang, all suspicion is averted.
Yeah, you've got it exactly. Bust up their operations, get their attention, make yourself look legitimate, and then go for the throat.
We have a trusted source who's determined that the Nova Blades' base, a wrecked ship called the Aggressor, contains their entire security apparatus. That's our final target.
And who might that be?
Someone you already know.
Two someones, if we're being precise.
We'll place you in range of the first Nova Blade target. That's where our source is waiting.
It really is good to see you again.
Been hiding out a long time. It's nice to see someone who isn't a complete stranger. Good luck out there.
Yes. May the Force serve you well. The Nova Blades have to believe you're a legitimate threat to their supremacy. Show them you are.
Let's hit those blades where it counts. In the profits.
It's you! It's really you! I can hardly believe my optical circuits.
Jakaro and D4, I was hoping I hadn't seen the last of you.
Welcome to Rishi, my lord. Not exactly the paradise we'd hoped it would be. All bluster aside, this planet's inhabitants are not to be trifled with. The Nova Blades in particular are a powerful and organized group. That is why we intend to depower and disorganize them by firing from Jakaro's ship on the targets of your choosing.
If we're using a ship, we could take out their entire depot.
If you are to be implicated as the perpetrator of these acts, you must be seen flagging their assets. I'd wish you good luck if I thought you'd need it. We'll keep in touch.
Circuits crossed for collateral damage.
Jakaro tells me that should be enough to get the Nova Blades' attention. There's a Lieutenant Donovar in charge here, according to Theron. Challenging him would make a fine exclamation mark.
It's like a war zone, Commodore! We're gonna lose everything if we don't airlift what's left to the slave camp!
And we're not backing down just because some upstart crew thinks they got what it takes to break us. Buckle down, be a Nova Blade, and kill whoever's messing with us!
But Commodore Margok!
You heard him. Kill whoever's messing with you. Or try, at least.
I took down a dozen contenders to get this post. I ain't even a little bit scared of you.
I was hoping you'd pick that one.
The job's done.
Excellent news, but it's only our first step.
Did you have something in mind?
I intercepted some chatter about a slave camp. Well, more like a slave island.
I heard one of their lieutenants mention it.
Basically, anyone in Raiders Cove who doesn't give the Nova Blades a slice of their action or whatever gets locked away. Some get put into hazardous labor, like mining, but most are sold as slaves to visitors from off-world. It's a lucrative business for the Blades.
Give me the coordinates and I'll get started.
It's not that simple. We don't actually know where the slave island is. You'll have to slip in with one of the Nova Blades cargo shipments. I'm sure the island's heavily guarded, so try not to get killed.
I believe Theron means to say he's concerned for your safety, as am I. May the Force serve you well.
No smart comments. Every slaver here, every scumbag who treats people like property, has to die. We have to kill them.
You're getting off this island.
Wow, thank you. We'll hide out in one of them shipping deals till you're ready to go.
About time I got out of here.
Jakaro, I have a pickup for you.
C2D4 here. We have your coordinates and are on our way.
Been mining Exonium for the Blades every day for 2 years. All to pay off a lousy $3 grand I owed. And I ain't the only one.
Your debt's the least of the Nova Blades' worries right now.
I believe it. Even in this place, we hear stuff. About your gang, the way you've been making life ugly for the Blades. We want to be a part of that.
You want to work for me?
Hey, we're good at a whole lot of stuff. Tell you what, get in touch with a pal of mine in Raiders Cove, Harlow Ricks. Check in with Ricks from time to time, tell him what you want us to do, and we'll do it. Simple as that. You get nice and close to Margok. You give him one for me, alright?
I'd say the Nova Blades are properly distracted, wouldn't you?
That would be an understatement. Theron's been monitoring communications. You've caused quite a stir.
Want some gratification? Here, check this out. Just recorded.
They're blasting up my supplies, my foot soldiers, taking my workers. What are you people prepared to do about it?
This appears to be your problem, not ours.
How would you like it if I made it your personal problem? Give me Revan! I want to talk to Revan!
No, I don't think so.
You don't put Revan on. The Nova Blades stop rerouting galactic traffic. That ain't negotiable.
Revan.
Commodore Margok, are you threatening to alter the terms of our deal? I paid you to do a job and you've done it well. But that's over now. I no longer have any use for your Nova Blades.
Hey, I know Torch and her Mandalorian clan up and left us, but the Blades still got a lot to offer.
Not if you don't have your own house in order. Put an end to the upstart causing you trouble, and I'll consider resuming our alliance.
You really did it. You got them running scared.
Naturally. You were expecting some other outcome?
Guess it was silly of me to question, huh?
The Nova Blades still have an impressive roster of hardened criminals at their disposal, and the aggressor is still heavily fortified.
The aggressor's their headquarters. You've seen it. A crashed ship Margok turned into a fortress. Can't get in without the proper security codes.
That won't be a problem for me.
We'll get Jakaro to lend a hand all the same.
If nothing else, the activity will keep him from picking apart D4 any further.
Margok is losing his mind over you.
The Nova Blades fear you, as they should. Now take the aggressor.
Fire, Jakaro!
Nova Blades. Nova Blades. If I ever start a pirate crew, I'm going to call them the Star Stabbers.
Gets away!
Theron.
Finally in. Nice work. Now to see where Margok's hiding all his secrets.
You dirty, no-good pirate scum.
This is it, Margok. The Nova Blades are finished, and so are you.
My forebears founded Raiders Cove. This is my island, and I'm not giving it up. So come on in. Do your worst. In the end, you ain't coming out alive.
They've got live slicers and they're managing network security on the fly. I can't do anything until they're offline.
I'll handle it.
I'm sure you will. Hey, now that you've got access to the place, see what you can do about opening a line for me to slice in remotely.
You're making the biggest mistake ever. I got connections. Come find me. I dare you.
Security measures are down. Trouble is, so's the network. Margok must have shut it down manually.
This is my ship. Think you can just walk on in and be left alive?
Run away while you still can! Got you on the ropes! You'll never take the Nova Blades!
Theron, are you getting this?
Loud and clear. I'm in. Full access.
This is the sort of momentum we could never create on our own. We need to maintain that momentum. Surely if the Revenites are done with the Nova Blades, as Revan indicated, they're on to the next stage of their plan.
There'd better be something in the Nova Blades files that sheds some light on what Revan's doing with those hyperspace routes.
Yeah, tell me about it. Starting to feel like flying blind is the new normal.
While Theron's pulling down data, I suggest you start to make your way back to Raiders Cove. Hopefully he'll have found something of use by then.
What have we learned from the aggressor?
Very little, I'm afraid. It would appear someone took it upon themselves to corrupt much of the data as a last resort.
It's a real mess, getting fragments but nothing incredibly coherent. The one thing that does keep turning up is the Mandalorian Margok brought up earlier, the one they call Torch.
What about her?
Well, it looks like Torch and Margok were thick as thieves for a while, then something happened. Had to do with the Revenites. Don't really know the details, but it looks like Torch moved her whole clan to another island here on Rishi. I've got the coordinates.
What's the matter, Theron? Is my being around so distracting you need to hurry me off to some other island?
You're not entirely wrong.
I'm sending Jakaro out on a scouting run. I've made local arrangements for your transportation should he not return in time.
Wow. You've been busier than I thought.
Get whatever information you can from the Mandalorians. With any luck, they'll lead us to the Revenites.
My dear friend the Wrath, always a pleasure to see you intact.
Darth Varon, this is unexpected.
Well, what's life without a few surprises? There are matters I'd like to discuss in person, and I happen to be near the Rishi system. Perhaps we can meet, enjoy a respite from the bloodshed and destruction.
It's past time we reconnected. I expect that we have much to consider together.
I will await you at these coordinates, but do make haste. My visit to Rishi must be brief.
My good Wrath, you look the same as ever. How many Jedi have you slain today?
We meet again, Varon.
In all seriousness, how are you? I understand you've been working tirelessly for our Empire. Is it satisfying, your craft? putting down huts and cults here and there?
These deeds must be done, but I grow weary of running the errands of others.
As I feared, I worry for you, Wrath, and for your future. The Republic claims the Emperor is dead, but I hear rumors to the contrary. The game pieces are moving.
Speak plainly.
Consider this. The last Wrath of the Emperor served in that position for centuries, only departing after turning traitor. As I understand, you never chose to become the Wrath. The position was thrust upon you. What is it that you truly desire?
I seek the ultimate test. I seek to measure myself through battle, and to become greater.
Through victory, my chains are broken. There is no victory without contest. I have a gift to aid your endeavors. I have come upon indications that you are being watched, and have been for some time. These spies are mechanical, but ingeniously hidden using combinations of ancient and modern technology, welded into form using the Force.
You make a bold claim. Why come for me? What do you want out of this?
If unknown forces are tracking you, spying upon you, then surely that concerns us all. An associate of mine with connections in the Gree Enclave manufactured this. A device to reveal your foe. Use it to reclaim your privacy if you wish, or to look upon the face of your watchers.
How does it work?
Activation is simple, but I draw your foes somewhere remote. The jungle, perhaps, to avoid interference. There is more I'd offer you, but not until I'm certain we are alone.
Your assistance will not be forgotten, Lord Vowran. Once again, our deals bear fruit.
I will remain on Rishi as long as I can. Good hunting, Wrath. Be careful of those machines. I don't know the extent of their strength.
The Roth MC do not permit this. When he returns, all stars will die. The Roth disobeys programming. Darkness must be preserved.
Think you scare me?
There will be silence. The Roth cannot know. The ritual must proceed.
Roth, this explains much.
7-1.
You should not have destroyed the Opticrons. The droids exist so that we may know you. You exist so that you may serve our master.
You have no need to know my every movement. The droids were an insult.
We determine our needs. You are an instrument of our master's will. Perhaps you have spent too much time serving among the fleets and the Dark Council. First Ilum, then Makeb, and on the list goes. What does not threaten the Emperor is not your concern. We fear you forget this.
The events on those planets concern the fate of the entire Empire. I will not ignore our enemies.
We are at a delicate juncture. Your past choices are of mixed merit. Trust that we will inform you when you are needed. Now, I understand Darth Vowran sought to meet you here. He has committed crimes against the Hand.
What sort of crimes?
He sought to learn our secrets and interrogated a servant. We believe he is fleeing to the unmapped stars of the Rishi Maze. Did he reach you? If he left this world only recently, we might still find him.
If he attempted to contact me, he failed. I felt a presence here and came to investigate.
Then our search must continue. He will not elude the Hand forever. We will not ask that you stay your saber and return to the tranquility of our fortress. Your edge must not be dulled. Have faith that all questions, all concerns, will shortly be resolved. The Emperor is returning, and we will fuel his flame.
As always, I am the Emperor's loyal servant.
Then we chose well. Be ready, mighty Roth. Soon,
You will fulfill your true destiny.
Oringo mosto, ladan filet, que go beselegnadio.
Approaching Torches Island.
Made it inside. Huh. Don't know what you're doing in our compound. But since you're here, let's see what you're made of.
Come on, bring it!
Not bad, but not done either. Well, look at you. Might actually be a challenge. Done pretty well for yourselves. But you're in the arena now. Meet Joss and Volk. Husband and wife, tough as Durasteel, undefeated, and still eager to prove themselves.
I will destroy you!
My husband, the pushover. When do you finally destroy them, huh? Together we can't lose. This is how it's done, Joss.
Keep up, Volk. Like watching dust gather. St. Joe always fight better, Redor.
Joss, you're doing it wrong.
Have to hand it to you. That was something. Think it's time we met.
I take it you're the one they call Torch.
Shay Visla. That little nickname the locals came up with. Hell if I know why.
You recently had a falling out with the Revenites and the Nova Blades. Tell me everything.
Oh, tell you everything. Sure, of course. Because I never had a Sith try to assert themselves before. Tell you what. Instead of whatever grand gesture of cooperation you thought might happen here, why don't we try something a little different? Been a while since I had a decent challenge. I'm taking this opportunity to show my clan how it's done. Here we go! Pushing yourself or not? Nardrosha! Try harder! And you're good. I'm better. No more practice. I thought you could fight. Not bad. Son of a... Okay, so I'm a little rustier than I'd like to admit. But just a little. Felt good to be in a real scrap for once.
You got what you wanted. Time to return the favor.
Well, that would be fair, wouldn't it? So, you know the Blades went and partnered up with the Revenites. Means you probably know they're up to no good. We helped out the Blades to have a good relationship with Raiders Cove. We didn't sign up for the Revenites in their all-out war, so we bailed.
Can I count on you and your clan to end the Revenite threat?
No, you cannot. We're not for hire. We're not Imperial lackeys. And we're not getting involved. Give me a single target that's worth my going toe-to-toe with. That's fine. But the Revenites and their fleet of warships? Pass.
Where are these ships?
Couldn't tell you. I wouldn't mind it a bit if you chased the Revenites out of Rishi. Off the radar is just how we like it here. Good hunting to you, Sith. Jesus Mandoade! Who's up for a Skarkla hunt?
I understand your frustration, Jakaro, but there's only so much of your bluster I'm prepared to take.
What's going on?
Theron's been captured by the Revenites. Data from the Nova Blades hinted at the location of a Revenite safe house in Raiders Cove. We looked into it and were ambushed.
They wouldn't bother taking Theron prisoner unless they needed something from him.
Were I in their position, I'd do everything I could to learn how much Theron knows. Whatever the case, I stand by my decision to not impede in Theron's abduction. And I know Theron would too. Now he's in a position to do what he does.
We're talking about a seasoned SIS operative. If the Revenites took him to their base, he could learn a lot.
Of course, if we're to make any use of that knowledge, we'll have to exfiltrate him all the same. Hopefully you fared better with the Mandalorians.
Revan has a fleet of warships on standby.
Of course. From examining the Nova Blades data, it looks as though they've been routing Imperial and Republic fleets here to Rishi.
So, the Empire and Republic are drawn into a full-scale battle, and whoever's left standing, the Revenites pick off.
And we still don't know who we can trust. We need to interfere with the Revenites' plans, if not stop them outright.
Yes, it's true. I was able to pinpoint several communications originating from another island. I'm told there's a Rishi village on the outskirts. I can't imagine they would resent our presence there.
The village will be our staging area. After the Revenites fall, I will confront Revan myself.
Yes, my lord. We have to assume Revan's expecting a resistance force now. You should expect to find patrols along the way.
Okay, I admit it. The Rishi terrify me. Just look at those beaks. I'm gonna have nightmares about being snapped up and eaten.
You're new.
Are you in charge here?
We don't really operate that way, but I can act as that sort of figure if you require it of me. How might I help?
My allies and I would like to stay here.
Do what you like. No Rishi will have an issue with your presence.
I suppose now that we've left Raiders Cove, you're going to start complaining about them instead of the pirates.
You cleared the path well, and made a friend.
I am called a Renkow.
The other inhabitants on this island, are you in contact with them? Do you know what they're up to?
If an individual Rishi chooses to get involved with others, that's that Rishi's choice. Otherwise, we tend to see no reason to inquire. These other inhabitants, they have also kept to themselves. Strangely, their encampment appears to be segregated. One group looks like her, the other is less intense.
No matter what they look like, they're as good as dead.
So there's a camp for Imperial traitors and one for Republic Revenites. And they're not exactly friends. This may provide an opportunity, either to extract atonement for their deception or to employ a little deception of our own.
It's an opportunity to thin the ranks, is what it is.
Your zeal for making heads roll never ceases to surprise me, D4. But don't worry yourself, it may yet come to that.
I'll take a closer look at these Revenite camps.
And we'll attempt to establish a better grasp of their activities.
I hope we can establish where Agent Shan is being held.
As do I.
We, Rishi, would be grateful for your help around the village. If you choose to provide it, of course. Savor your travels.
I guess the good news is the Empire and the Republic can get along. The bad news is we have to join a murder cult.
Be patient, Sergeant, but be ready. As soon as we have word from Revan, our work begins.
Lord Ivris, sir, it's...
The Emperor's wrath. Here. We're found out. I suppose Darth Marr sent you to fight his battle for him. Seems his usual way. No, better still. You learned about us and thought Marr could be in on it. You're here on your own. We have the upper hand.
I want you to consider who you're speaking to, then decide whether you care to test your theory.
You're bluffing. Strike at us now, and you won't make it out of this camp alive.
I'll survive, and you'll be the first to go. Then the Sergeant. You know I'm right.
If I may say, my lord, he does make a convincing argument.
It does seem we've been less than a step ahead for some time now. Opposition at our heels and in the shadows. You'll get no further resistance from me. I can't vouch for every last Imperial Revanite, of course, but I can speak for those present.
What do you intend to do about the others?
Captain Millenek's Republic contingent? Whatever your move, you'll have my fighters at your back. Ultimately, we are loyal to the Empire.
There have been reports of skirmishes in the area. I want you to stay alert for anything out of the ordinary.
Such as?
By the stars! Be ready to fire on my mark!
No, not on your mark. On mine.
You've got Ivris's people. You've turned him against the cause. Whatever you think you've accomplished, you won't stop Revan, I promise you.
You can barely hold your composure. I know you fear me.
I don't know where Revan is. Not for sure. But there's a stronghold. In the valley. It's where they took Theron Shan. I swear, it's the best information I have. And I can't ask up the chain, they'll only grow suspicious of me.
You have far outlived your usefulness, Captain. If ever you were useful to begin with. Lana, Theron's being held in a valley stronghold. Could be Revan is there as well.
I'll have D4 see what the Rishi know about it. We'll work out a plan of attack once you've returned. I've never met a people quite like the Rishi. Pragmatic, accommodating, reasonable. If it wasn't for the climate, I'd consider staying.
I haven't had any problems with them, so far.
Always be at least a little guarded. Not the worst way to live, considering all the betrayal on display. As I mentioned earlier, I did acquire some information worth noting. Rishi observations surrounding the Revanite stronghold fit what we know. They're holding powerful warships on standby, and they're well protected.
Did any of the Rishi see Theron?
No, all we know is what you were told, that he's been taken there. We've been unable to reach the Imperial fleet nearing Rishi, but I can confirm from the Nova Blade's data logs that Darth Marr's flagship is among them.
Get to work on a solution for our connection issues. He needs to know what's coming.
I'm working to remap the interference patterns into a code that protocol droids on approaching ships should be able to decipher, if they're any good.
Press on. Stall their ships if you can, and we'll do what we can from here to reach the fleet and lend support as needed.
I'm no pushover, but you aren't joking. We do hope Agent Shan is recovered.
Yes, preferably alive. Now go show the Revanites, and, fate willing, Revan himself, why you are not to be trifled with. Let's show the Revanites the error of their ways.
Apparently we could have just landed here. Everyone else did. They wouldn't notice one more, right?
Find the communications terminal and activate it. I'll attempt to slice in remotely. I'm starting to get the hang of slicing. Theron's influence, I suppose. Give me 1 second. There. A holorecord of Theron under interrogation. Coordinates are coming your way.
And Revan?
No indication he's there, but no indication he isn't either. I wouldn't let my guard down.
Revan.
I should have known the Empire would send one of its lapdogs to try and find me. You should never have bothered.
What have you done with Theron?
Theron Shan's fate doesn't matter. Neither does yours. I'm changing the fate of the galaxy itself.
I get you've lost your mind.
I understand how you might see it that way, from your narrow point of view. I'm not waging some war with the Empire and Republic. I'm saving countless lives, and you keep getting in the way. The only upside in your being here, really, is that you get to bear witness. My plan's too far along for you to stop it now.
Don't listen to him. It's not over yet.
I was so sure I'd never see you again.
Yeah, sorry. Almost made it out the front door when I saw you'd shown up to rescue me. Should have known you would. Don't know how much Lana or Revan told you, but he's lured the Imperial and Republic command fleets to Rishi.
Revan wants to draw them into a fight. Try to take out the leadership.
It'll barely be a fight. Revanites embedded on both sides are gonna sabotage shields, weapons, you name it. And we can't warn them. Revan had the Nova Blades build him a signal jammer. No communications at all up in Rishi space. It'll be a bloodbath.
The next time I see you in person, you won't be pulling off any miraculous survival.
Actually, I doubt I'll ever see you again.
This place is coming down. Soon.
You could have joined me, Theron. Understandably, you're as tenacious as I ever was. Goodbye.
Hello? Are you there?
Lana, what just happened?
I appear to have sliced through 4 layers of encryption to remotely deactivate the power core.
Just in the nick of time. Don't know if I could have managed that even.
Theron, good to know you're alive. I heard everything. About the jammer, all of it. We need to regroup for an immediate attack. Whatever happens, be proud of what we've accomplished up to now. See you soon.
All right, take it easy. I'm not exactly 100%, and you're not exactly gentle.
Oh, good! The team's back together again. All thanks to you for saving Theron, of course.
He was practically out the door all on his own.
Theron, you have the intelligence on this signal jammer. You start.
Right. The intelligence I gathered in the company of several interrogation probes while being held against my will. Jammer's on a nearby island. You've probably seen it. Can't be sliced remotely. Lots of Revanite zealots protecting it. The usual hopeless nightmare, basically.
The way you two are behaving toward each other, I want to know what's going on.
It's nothing that can't wait.
Time's running short. You know what to do. It's what you always do. Triumph.
Don't know if you can read me, but I've arrived.
We read you.
The jammer's in sight.
Perfect. And I just hit the jackpot. An exhaustive list of Revanite traders on both fleets. I'll do what I can to guide you through, but that signal jammer might cause some hiccups. Okay, you're in. There's a force field between you and that jammer. You'll have to gather a set of security codes to pass through. Signal's going to start breaking up soon. Talk to you when you get that jammer shut down.
Dialect base, hostile engagement initiated. Shouldn't take long. Affirmative. Taking them out. Not putting up much of a fight. Friendlies acknowledged. Surrender now or face immediate extermination. I will take you down. You are interfering. Desist and depart. Taking damage.
Nice, I'm in. Uploading the files.
Come in. Can anyone read me?
I'm here. And you are on Rishi.
Darthmar, you have traitors in your fleet. Scores of them, acting under orders from Revan.
Revan is alive?
He wants you to destroy each other out there.
Have the fleet powered down all weapons. Do it now.
Your people should have a list of the traitors.
Finally, an open line.
Grandmaster Sean, it appears we have been set upon each other by your ancestor.
Yes, we were notified by an agent of ours whose planet side. We're taking measures to detain the traitors among us.
As are we. Given the nature of the threat, I suggest we speak in person.
Very well. A neutral location.
There's a pirate town on Rishi. My team will send the coordinates.
That will do. Then we are agreed. A truce. For the time being.
Quite a significant occasion. I see you've begun without me.
We both felt time was of the essence, Wrath.
Satele Shan, Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Your intervention allowed us to defend ourselves against the Revanite fleet. Many thousands owe their lives to your actions.
And the all-encompassing rot of the Order of Revan has been excised from our fleets. Now, we turn to the matter of Revan himself.
My agent here has discovered that Revan's on the fourth moon of Yavin, where he believes the last spark of the Sith Emperor resides.
Revan intends to return the Emperor from the brink of death, so he may finally be destroyed.
I am his wrath. I will not allow that to happen.
You know as well as I that he is not the being he once was. The Emperor now hungers for the end of life itself. He would consume us all, starting with you. In resurrecting the Emperor, Revan believes he will succeed where others have failed, but the Emperor will prove far too powerful for Revan or anyone else.
Darthmar and I will be leading a joint strike force on Yavin 4 to put an end to Revan's plan. I hope you'll join us.
As do I, for the Empire and for the galaxy.
That went surprisingly well, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Empire and Republic can work together without stabbing each other in the back.
It was the right move arranging for your capture. We've succeeded, haven't we?
Unbelievable. Where's the trust, huh? Did it go wander off someplace, or was it never there to start with?
With all that's going on around us, we have to be able to trust each other. You owe Theron an apology.
At the risk of seeming egotistical, I will not apologize for being right.
Do it.
Theron, I recognize that I betrayed your trust, and for that I'm sorry.
Isn't there anything else you wanted first?
Yes. Will that be all?
Lana, I think it's time Theron and I got to know each other a little better.
Yes, of course. Jakaro and I will make ready for Yavin 4.
But I thought I heard you say you were starting to like it here.
I love it. She calls me her agent, like it's sheer coincidence we have the same name. Though it's not like Master Satil raised me, or like we do any mother-son stuff. Just an odd way to refer to your kid, you know?
Even if Satil Shan had feelings for you, she would never reveal them. The Jedi stifle their emotions.
Yeah, I hear you.
When we get to Yavin 4, you should say something.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really bothered by it so much as amused. If Master Zhou ever told me I'd be putting my life story out there for a Sith Lord, I'd have called him crazy. I'm the enemy. At least, I will be again if we live through it all. Gotta say, though, I've enjoyed this while it's lasted.
It has had its charm, hasn't it?
You could say that. And they said if I ever kissed an Emp, I'd spontaneously implode.
Maybe by the time we reach Yavin 4.
Not the most subtle hint, but yeah, we need to get going. I'll have Jakaro plot a route to Yavin 4. Who knows? Maybe if we ask nice, Revan will stop.
I feel like if we take one wrong step, this truce will break. I also feel like this planet, moon, whatever, is going to eat us. Can we go yet?
There can be no mistaking it. The Emperor is on this moon. Revan is here as well. And another presence, if you wish to believe the Grand Master.
The other presence, it's unclear. The dark side permeates everything here. Saturates it. I've been to Oricon. This is another level entirely.
Scared?
You must be joking.
The Order of Revend is garrisoned inside an old Massassi temple. That is where the dark side is most prevalent.
We carved out an area as close to the temple as we could. The high concentrations of Massassi in these parts made it difficult.
It didn't help that you knew about the Massassi, but didn't bother to give a heads up to our recon teams.
This is no time for infighting or deception. The stakes are far too high.
Agreed. We cannot let emotion cloud our judgment. More easily said than done for some, I suppose. While Darth Mar and I have reached an accord, many of those under our command obviously don't share our sense of commitment.
If you were to assist in shoring up our position, it would serve as an example to the rest.
We can be pragmatic if we choose to. Do what you do so well out there. I'll remain in touch. Our truce must hold. Everything depends on it.
Glad to have you handling this.
I'm glad we can count on you.
We will put an end to Revan's plan.
I don't like this at all. We're in striking distance of the Republic, and what are we doing about it? Nothing. We're at war.
My recon team came across some reps covering the same ground. Thought we'd get the drop on them.
Are they dead? Tell me they're dead.
They're dead, all right, but we didn't kill them. And Sassy warriors jumped them. Us too. I'm all that's left.
So, okay. Good to know.
My leku are dripping from the humidity, and I swear I smell something rotting. Drumming Koss was scary, but there's something really wrong here.
The signal's good. We are receiving. You should see the way Theron glares at me. Master Shan asked me to convey her appreciation. We have it. Reading clear. Lana here. I have an opportunity for us if you're interested.
Go ahead.
There's a redundant monitoring subsystem in the equipment you're installing. You could activate the subsystem, setting it to track Republic chatter and movements.
Sneaky. I like it.
Okay, I'll walk you through the steps.
Welcome. We've got a much better picture now of what's between us and the Temple. First thing's the Massassi. We knew we'd be facing a lot, but now we know it's a lot.
There can be no reasoning or bargaining with the Massassi. Once we encroach upon their territory, they will attack.
That was the first thing.
The best of the Imperial Guard are trained in special facilities, honed to physical perfection and instilled with unwavering loyalty. We found one such facility between us and the Temple. The Emperor must have had it constructed in secret.
And there are life forms inside. Human. Whether it's Revenites or the Emperor's Guard, they won't be looking to help us.
I'll find out who we're dealing with.
That location is of great strategic value. Make clear to its inhabitants, whomever they are, that the facility is ours now.
I'll be interested to see who you find.
We will put an end to Revan's plan.
The Imperial Guard. This just keeps getting better.
It's hard to believe that Revan's forces could defeat even the Imperial Guard so easily.
The Imperial Guard really lives here? What do you think that does to your head?
Darth Marr and I both sense a growing presence. We're almost certain it's due to your activities.
They're ruining everything! I see it! We see! But they don't see! They don't even have eyes! We're all that's left. We have to flush the others from this place. Only then can we wake the starving Emperor and grant him sustenance.
Identify yourselves.
Lord Roth! It's Lord Roth! I'm Commandant Ivan. We're the true Imperial Guard. We're here to serve the Emperor.
Tell me what must be done.
We must cleanse the Temple of the Revenites. We have to prepare the Emperor's feast. And you don't have to do anything, Roth. Just let us sacrifice you in his name. Food for the Emperor. Let the end begin! The Emperor must feed the Emperor.
They were Imperial Guards, after all.
Yes. The support team says their commandant's a raving madman. We'll want to question him. Insane or not, he'll be of use to us.
Closer.
He will be fed. He will be fed.
Silence! He's raving mad, but he still has information we need to breach the temple and prevent the Emperor's return.
I would like to interview him personally. Someone in his state must be handled delicately.
Time is of the essence. A more hands-on approach is required.
Yes, niceties are at best a luxury.
Take him to my chambers.
I won't forget this, Marr.
No, I wouldn't expect you to.
What's the word?
The word? How about unsettling?
According to Ivan, there's a device inside the temple they'd hoped to use to bring the Emperor back. It's a weapon designed to eradicate all living things on the moon, save for those safely inside the temple.
Oh, I should like to see that. Just imagine.
D4, button it.
The device appears to be Sith in origin. That's how the Emperor knew about it, why he chose to retreat to Yavin 4.
Ivan's team was going to activate the device, use the loss of life to restore the Emperor.
Yes, and now Revan plans to use it for the same purpose. If we can't stop him, we're all dead.
Then let's get moving.
Ivan clued us in on a series of complex locks that will get us access to the temple. They're our next objective. Hey, could you guys give us a sec?
Of course, don't be long.
My line of work, you stare death in the face pretty much all the time. I'm sure you do too. I'm not in tune with the Force at all, but I don't have to be to feel it. If we can't stop the Revenites, that's over. Everything.
I'm strong enough in the Force for both of us. Revan and his misguided followers don't stand a chance.
Now that's what I like to hear. Try not to die, okay? It'd be nice to see you again.
From all accounts, the Massassi warriors here are the most savage of all. Be wary.
When I have bad dreams about Korriban and scary monsters coming for me in jail, those scary monsters pretty much look like Massassi.
Your arrival has been foreseen. You must press on. You're close, I feel it. Hurry! It's time. You've finally arrived.
Revan? But you're alive, leading the Revenites.
The brooding monster inside those temple walls. He is not Revan. He is an abomination. His obsession, his arrogance, this angry crusade, it's all blinded him to the truth. The many lives he'll sacrifice to revive the Emperor will be nothing compared to what will follow. It's within your power to stop the abomination, but you won't be able to do it alone. May the Force be with you.
The Jedi and I, we both felt it, a ripple in the Force. You had a visitor, a manifestation.
It appeared to be Revan. He claims to be on our side, and that the one we've been chasing isn't him after all.
That all remains to be seen. And for now, it's irrelevant. All that matters is that we stop the Revenites.
He didn't seem to think I could do it on my own.
All told, the Revenites may be the fiercest adversaries we've ever faced, and this temporary alliance with the Republic is unstable at best. We must gather our forces. We must endure. The fate of not only the Empire, but the galaxy itself depends on it.
What's the word, Corporal? Imperial's been up to anything shady?
Sergeant now, actually. Got a field promotion after my Sarge was hauled away. He was one of the traitors.
Wow, that's... congratulations.
I guess, except now I feel like I can't trust my own people. And we're supposed to trust those imps, too.
Yeah, it's bad all around. Stay sharp.
I'm begging you. If you won't hold your fire around the temple, at least remove any artifacts for preservation. I can't do this alone.
You wanted these relics preserved. Consider it done.
Thank you. I was the only one of my unit cleared to operate here. I was afraid the Republic would see our history purged.
I like you, Captain. You're a freak, and I'd still help if I could. The Imperial Guard knew everything about this world. We should be sharing their data, not hiding it.
This is the Imperial Guard's training data. It should help both sides.
I won't tell my superiors if you won't. Like it or not, we're in this together.
My lord, watch your step out here. The jungle's got eyes. Any support you can give, we'll take it.
I've thinned the pack. If you're going to secure a beachhead, now's the time.
Understood. I'll call it in. Maybe we'll see more action than fangs and claws after all.
Onward to victory, my friend, Remove the commanders, and the rank and file will thrash like a worm out of dirt. Do so in strength, and do so in joy.
You were right. The Revenites rely too heavily on their commanders for direction.
You are too kind to my humble self. We forget sometimes that unity, not obedience, is the true strength of our empire.
Massassi freaks killed my buddies. They're not killing anymore. They ambushed us. That was smart. They should have killed us then.
They were gonna kill us. I don't know how. I don't even know why. You saved my life. We were dead. And you... Thank you.
Your scouts were captured by Massassi. I freed the survivors. Their commander left a message.
Sergeant Chung dead. Blasted. I'll put her in for a commendation along with her men.
Keep waiting to hear that this is all some ploy. Like we're here to lull the Republic into a false sense of security.
If only. That would mean we weren't teaming up out of necessity to take down a threat too big to handle alone.
I know I'm not clear, but I heard rumors. Is it really him behind this? Darth Revan?
I'm going to assume it is. In my experience, it's best to assume the worst.
If we don't get massive support soon, we're all dead. And I didn't sign up to get eaten.
The wildlife is under control for now. You'll have room to maneuver.
Right. Yes, sir.
Finally, there can be trust between us, and not a moment too soon. As we speak, our forces are working with the Republic to end the Revanite threat and take the temple.
In spite of our obvious differences, and the fact we're at war, you were able to inspire a sort of cooperation I never imagined possible. Credit where it's due. You succeeded where Darth Mar and I failed.
But we aren't finished yet. There is one element even our combined militaries will be unable to stop.
Revan.
Given his failure, he'll try to escape, to regroup. That cannot be allowed to happen.
Consider it taken care of.
The disturbance grows. Revan cannot be allowed to proceed.
Revan's time has come.
You ready for this?
Shall we proceed?
It's over.
You've been at my heels far too long. I knew the Rishi plan was a long shot, but I had to try. Had to make it legitimate. I needed to lure you in. You were supposed to stay busy on Rishi long enough for me to finish here, but no! You couldn't do that, could you?
This has all been one big deception, hasn't it? You aren't even the man you claim to be.
You don't know what you're talking about. I spent 300 years in lockstep with the Emperor's mind. I know what he's become, what he wants. The Emperor must be destroyed completely, or he will return and consume every last living thing. There's no cost too great. If I have to snuff out every life on this world by hand to draw the Emperor out, then so be it!
Whatever the Emperor's done, or may wish to do, it's my place to handle it, not yours.
You're so naive, Wrath. You don't even begin to comprehend what I've become. I was a Dark Lord of the Sith. I was the prodigal knight. I was powerful, but I was also weak. Not anymore. Now I'm pure, unburdened. I can finally have revenge on my jailer and save the galaxy doing it. I have the power, and you have nothing!
You are wrong, Revan. He has powerful allies.
Both Sith and Jedi.
Allies from all corners of the galaxy.
Shae Vizsla?
Heard the fight to end all fights was going down. What sorry kind of Mando would I be if I missed out?
You were saying?
I don't care how many of you there are. I won't be denied my destiny. I am Revan! This will be the end of you! I have come too far. This is my destiny.
Make him bleed.
Keep more!
Fighting! Be strong! The Force is my servant.
You are sealing the galaxy's fate. I must have my revenge. Fall!
I won't let you win, Revan. Don't let up!
It is over for you, Revan.
You cannot deny me!
He is strong with the Force.
Oh, good crap!
I will see you break.
It can't be. In defeating me, you let the real enemy linger on. You doom the galaxy!
Say what you will about the Emperor. You're the one presenting a threat right now.
He's right, you know.
No, not you.
You've been so blinded by your unchecked rage, your thirst for vengeance, that you could not see the truth. Now that your power has subsided, I may finally confront you. I only hope you will listen.
What exactly is happening here?
When I died, I had come to terms. I was ready to become one with the Force. But I soon realized that was only what part of me wanted.
I cast you out! It was the only way to go on, to remain and finish what we started. You were holding me back.
You think you're stronger this way, but you're not. Neither of us is. We're broken. We can't go on like this.
I won't stop. Not until I conjure the Emperor. I have to face him.
You wanted my return. You did not need to destroy whole fleets or turn a living world barren for that. You only had to point the Empire and Republic to a shared adversary and let them do what they do naturally. Make war. The scores of dead have nourished me. I am awakened, and I bring with me death. Do not fret, Wrath. You are still special to me. That is why I will kill you last.
The Emperor was not as strong as he might have been had Revan succeeded. But he was strong enough.
No! He was supposed to face me.
You're too weak. You won't last.
If we unite, what I am, won't it fade? Become diminished?
Lord Wrath, you have endured betrayal upon betrayal. You did not get where you are today through kindness or moderation. It has served you well. You make a fine example.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You have to be. We have to.
You are once again complete.
It's more than that. For the first time in a long time, I'm myself. Thank you for all you've done, and for all you've shown me. Dark days lie ahead. The darkest days. If my error can't be undone, everyone will pay the price. Brace for the worst.
So I guess this is goodbye.
I suppose so. It's been an experience, Theron. Be well to yourself.
Yeah, you too, Lana. Try not to get into too much trouble, all right?
We'll speak soon.
She's something, that Lana. One to watch. Or maybe watch out for.
She's done what's required of her. In fact, I'd say she's gone above and beyond.
Fair enough. You'd know better than me what makes a good Sith.
You and Revan are related.
Centuries removed, but yeah, I'm his direct descendant. Made that interrogation the most awkward reunion ever.
How is it between you and Satele? Any better?
This is the most time we've ever spent together, so it's hard to say. I think she's warming up to me, in her own Jedi way. What a ride, huh? If you told me when we met all the ups and downs we go through together, I'd have called you crazy. Maybe I called you crazy anyway, I don't remember anymore. Between all my family fun with Revan and the Grand Master, and then, well, you.
Care to finish that thought?
I won't lie. You've been one of the two real bright spots in all this.
Two?
Well, look, there isn't any easy way to say this, but I mean, we both knew this would have to end eventually. The Republic exonerated me, so I'm back in the fold. And they gave me a new job. A big one.
That's quite a vote of confidence. You deserve it.
Okay, that's unexpected. You do know what this means, right?
And here I thought I might be able to recruit you into the Empire.
Oh yeah, why not? I'm sure everyone would trust me and never assume I was secretly working for my own mother. Soon as we rejoin the fleet and make the jump to lightspeed, that's it. No more truce. You and I, we probably won't exchange another word ever again.
Who needs words?
Next time you got a fight that juicy, you know how to reach me.
Good luck, you two.
Going somewhere?
We're headed back to Rishi!
Jakaro, I thought you hated that place.
Jakaro wishes to whip those sorry Raiders Cove pirates into shape. He sees a real opportunity there.
What about you? See any of this opportunity?
Oh, my word, no. But it should be fun to watch, if nothing else. What? Oh, you know I hate it there. That's why we're going, isn't it? Just to torture me.
Darth Marr, you wanted a word.
We suffered many casualties upon the Emperor's return, though nothing insurmountable. Nothing compared to what we would have endured had the Revanites been successful. You are to be commended, of course, but it was Lana Beniko's guile and intellect that made your participation at all possible. That is why I have placed Lana in charge of Sith intelligence.
I can't think of a better choice.
Thank you, my lord.
That will be all for now. The Empire grows ever stronger. The mining of Isotope 5 has bolstered our energy independence, and we're free from concern over the threat of Revan and his followers.
That's only part of the story.
Yes, our momentary truce is over. We remain at war with an emboldened republic, and we still have countless enemies, both seen and unseen. I won't pretend to know how the Emperor's transformation has affected you. Enlighten me.
When the time comes, I will confront the Emperor, and he will answer to me.
Bold, unflinching. Good. You are of singular importance to our future. The Emperor may have abandoned you, but in my eyes, you are ever the Empire's wrath. The Empire is whole once more. It grows and strengthens. Our obstacles are severe, but they are known to us. The galaxy is ours to grasp. Let us reach